Brett Maher on for the extra point. And this is up and good to make it 7-0 Cowboys. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. This will be fielded at the 6. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line.
Let's go.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They had the interception last time. It led to the opening touchdown. So now 7-0 to score as they start 1st and 10. A run on first down, but it's not going to get them much. Maybe a yard, and that's all. Jalen Smith, the Notre Dame man, in on the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
2nd and 9 now from the 21. Fitzpatrick. Over the middle here to Wilson. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down. Wilson now in his 2nd season in Miami. First 4 years were in Kansas City. He's always been a solid complementary receiver, but Miami really hoping he can take the next step in his development, be more of a go-to guy now at 27 years of age. The last catch nearly got him a first, but it did not. Now Drake loses the football. It's picked up by the Cowboys, and they will take over at the 29-yard line.
They may have the edge on the scoreboard, but that hasn't made them passive, has it? I mean, they've dialed up a pretty good run blitz there. And Brandon, you know that all blitzes aren't just designed to get to the quarterback and the passer. Sometimes you're just trying to take away every gap, every hole that might be created in the running game, and they did it to perfection and caused a fumble there.
Took away the gaps, took away the holes, took away the football. Prescott now after the fumble recovery. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off down near the 5. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
Well, he talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Back near his goal line, Fitzpatrick. Got a man open. That's Devontae Parker, complete. And he'll get it up a little shy of the 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Well, forget the run on 3rd and 1. They shock the D and rip off a pretty big play.
That's the end of the first quarter.
After 7-0 on EA Sports. It's Dolphins football here as we begin the 2nd quarter, as they've got it with a 1st and 10. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Let's go, let's bring it. Hey, color. Hey, color. Hey, Haywood. 54.
From the gun, Fitzpatrick, and it's caught over the middle. Wilson, and he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down. So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 46. Fitzpatrick again. Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. The tank, DeMarcus Lawrence with a sack. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
To try again after the sack. Fitzpatrick. And over the middle, this is Parker. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
3rd and short yardage, Fitzpatrick. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Kenyon Drake, his first touchdown here of the new campaign, as they are now on the board here in the first half. And it's no good. He misses the extra point, and this remains a 7-6 game. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. This is taken at the 3. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Well, this game certainly has some historical ties. These two teams met way back in Super Bowl VI, played at Tulane Stadium in New Orleans, Dallas getting the victory. First title for the Cowboys. They've won 4 more since, but that next season was when Miami had the perfect season, still the only undefeated campaign in league history, as they capped it with a win over Washington at Super Bowl VII in Los Angeles. A gain of 13, it's a 1st down. So after a good run by Zeke, another 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 12 more yards there and another 1st down. A tough run by Ezekiel Elliott, the 4th overall pick in the 2016 draft.
If you watch tape of him in college, you saw plenty of those runs, because I know the highlights showed him in the open field breaking away from people, but that's how he wore down defenses, those exact type of runs.
Go, get out there.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Elliott, and that'll hurt the average a bit, as this time they're able to get him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
They'll try to throw now. Prescott. And that's complete. It's the Carr-to-Cooper connection. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. Looking back to Cooper's numbers from last year after that trade, he ended up playing 9 games for the Cowboys in 2018. 725 yards, 6 scores. Also had the 100-yard game in the playoffs against the Rams. And if you add up the numbers between the two teams last year, he was over 1,000 for the 3rd time in 4 NFL seasons. He finds his man. It's Austin. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. A gain of 37.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. The big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how we're going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive.
Here we go.
He's got Wilson, middle of the field. And he's upended at the 33, following a good pickup of 8. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33.
54 Mike. Hey, exit. Check. 154.
Now Fitzpatrick. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation. And there, the defense won the battle. And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on 4th down, and they're going to go for it. And it is incomplete. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And Dallas, they'll take over in terrific field position. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
All day, just like that. Just like that. Kill. Turn it up. Kill. Turn it
up. They'll try the sweep with Elliott. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Stop your whining.
Prescott. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. Christian Wilkins in there to record the 2nd sack of his young NFL career. They'll need a big play here. Will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's 3rd and long. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL.
Mike 5-5, Mike 55, Mike 5-5. Hey, man, watch the boot, watch the boot.
Third and long for Prescott. He finds Randall Cobb with a completion. 14 yards is the pickup there, but it'll still lead to a fourth down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Mike, here we go. Go right in. Here we go. Tight end right. Tight end. Here we go. Go to 54. Go to 54. Right in. Mike 52. Mike 52. I got you, punk.
The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now as they stop it prior to what will be an important fourth down. So on fourth down, on comes the Dallas kicker, Brett Maher. From the right hash, it's a 46-yard attempt. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. Of course, the door for Maher was opened after a little bit of a surprise move. The Cowboys letting go of Dan Bailey last year.
Yeah, Maher took over in the preseason. He's from Nebraska via the Canadian Football League where he kicked for 4 years. And I saw him personally make 2 game-winning field goals last season against Detroit and in Atlanta.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you.
And down he goes. Fitzpatrick sacked. DeMarcus Lawrence able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon.
Second down.
Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long. Fitzpatrick. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they do finally get him down, but not before he reaches the 41. The Dolphins going to take their second timeout as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Fitzpatrick. And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line. Now the Dolphins will use the last of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. They come up on second and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon.
Kill. Mike 54. Mike 54.
Here's Fitzpatrick. And the pressure gets to him again. Sean Lee, the longtime vet, getting in and getting to the QB.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. And Xavier Woods with a pick. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
The Cowboys will get the football first here, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in quarter 3. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line.
First down 10 at their own 27-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
First down. First and 10 at the 45-yard line.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. They keep on the ground with Elliott. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. 14 yards, good for a Cowboy first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
It's just me and you.
From the shotgun, it's Prescott. It gets it over the middle to Cobb. A gain of 6 there on first. These Cowboys looking good here at AT&T Stadium. Of course, they were really good in this building last year, 7-1 in their 8 games played at home. The only loss was on a Monday night to Tennessee. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Push him back. Check. We're going to 53. Come.
From the shotgun, a give to Elliott. And an alley to run. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
Go, get out there.
Here's Elliott. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Now Prescott. He's got a man complete. It's Amari Cooper. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes and they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. It's a gain of 5, and now the question, will the offense stay out there on 4th and 1? And no field goal try here from the red zone. Offense out there. They'll go for it on 4th.
Switch it, hey. No, check that. We want Mike 50. Hey. Where's 52? Watch 52. 26.
They run for it with Morris. And boy, is he close. Did he get there? No. say he's short of the line to gain.
In on the tackle. Turnover on downs.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Now on first down, Drake again. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. Defensively, it was Leighton Vander Esch up from his linebacker spot.
Right there, 54 Mike. All day. Regular.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Fitzpatrick. That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
The interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. 2 first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. To throw is Fitzpatrick. Out to the right here to Wilson. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Dolphins first down. This quarterback now hitting on 2/3 of his passes, 10 for 15 so far. 1st and 10. Working out of the gun, Fitzpatrick. And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. DeMarcus Lawrence able to record his 5th sack of the season.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Fitzpatrick now from the 50. Over the middle here to Wilson. They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on 3rd.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
Fitzpatrick from the gun on 3rd down. That's complete to his tight end, Mike Gesicki. There, they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there.
Mike 5-4.
First down, Fitzpatrick. And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. Off the edge, it's Tyrone Crawford with a sack. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in 1 game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
Another try after the first down sack. Fitzpatrick. And that would not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time has now run out on this 3rd quarter of play. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Regular. Mike 54.
To throw, Fitzpatrick. And down he goes. Fitzpatrick sacked. Sean Lee picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. 3rd and long, defense with no fear. They brought the pressure.
Zero fear at all. That means they feel really good about the guys who are going to cover. But the biggest one is they think their pressure will get there before he has a chance to find an open receiver.
So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. This will be spotted just shy of midfield, a 59-yard attempt. And that will wind up just short. He had it on line. It ran out of gas at the end, and this score will stay right where it is. And that one, just an absolute killer. A chance to get this back within one score.
All hope not gone yet. But at the same time, you're exactly right. They needed to get back within one score and have a motivated defense take the field in order to get it back for them for one last big drive.
Prescott on first down. What a spin. Caught left side by Cobb. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Check, go to 54, go to 54, line. Check 26, check 26. SOS. 26.
On second down now, it's Elliott. And he's got this down to the 35. 12 yards there and a first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Here we go, 46. Check. Fresno. Check. Lucky. We're going to 54. Why? 26.
Elliott. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
No gain on the play. Brings up 2nd and 10 at the Dolphins' 35-yard line.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Here we go, 46. Then we're going to 53. He's coming, double up. Hey, watch it.
They go back to Elliott. He's been busy. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. 15 yards on the play, first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Here we go. Line. Hey, eat. Man, that's trash. Deuce. 26.
On first down, Elliott. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
Here we go. Line. Let's go, D. We're going to 54. Line. 52. Come on, D. Hey, check 24. 26.
Throwing, Prescott. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked up by Minkah Fitzpatrick. 30. Past the 20. And he will bring it back. It's a pick six and a Dolphins touchdown. Well, don't change that channel just yet. This one may have gotten a bit more interesting.
Put down the remote, put down the clicker. This one looked like it was over. It looked like they were ready to seal the deal. But in doing so, by pitching it around a little bit, it cost them. We could have a great finish.
All right, now a big two-point conversion attempt still to come.
the slant.
Following the interception here, Fitzpatrick looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
I know they didn't tack on the 2 points, but I liked their attempt. After the interception return for a touchdown, I was thinking to myself, forget kicking it, go for 2, and they did.
Oh, yeah, and everybody's scrambling. Maybe you catch the defense on their heels. They weren't ready to be out there.
Yeah, it's almost like a sudden change, right? There's a turnover, you take it away, they stuck it in the end zone, keep the momentum going. Give credit to the defensive guys for rallying and stopping that 2-point attempt.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game, and you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
On 2nd and 11 now. Prescott going right side. He has Witten. And it's a fumble. But this will fortunately wind up out of bounds.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10.
Check 52.
This is Elliott. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41. Now the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession. So they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down.
Watch Mike. You ain't going nowhere.
Here's Prescott. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It's a 1st down on a gain of 10. Defensively, they're okay with that. Short little route, tackle him inbounds. Okay.
All right, cliche alert. It's time for someone to make a play because they've got to have something bigger downfield. They can't just take what they give them. They've got to force it and make something big happen for them.
A 20th carry here for Elliott. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first timeout. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning.
Here we go. Go ahead, Lee. Tease the mic. Watch the run. Go. Here we go.
They go to Elliott again. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. And this defense here going to burn their 2nd timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down.
Check that. We got Mike 52 right here. I got 1. That's it. Where's 52? Go. Get out there. 52's the mic. Check the outs. Check the outs. Check 52's the mic. Check 52.
Prescott from the gun. Looking deep for Elliott. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down.
Mike 52, Mike 52.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back home, yo. Let's make these babies cry all the way back home.
Kill, kill, kill. Everybody, kill, kill.
Mike 52, Mike 52. They can't hang with us.
Prescott to throw on 4th. Buying time to his left. Now he'll let it go deep left side. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Randall Cobb, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And it gives his guys a 12-point advantage. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This one taken from the 7. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up. To about the 35-yard line.
Dolphins take over 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Now, they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to drop him as that clock continues to run.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. Fitzpatrick now. He's going to let it fly. And that's caught inside the 35. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Devontae Parker, 78 yards, as his guys are back within a single score.
No, we're not cheering. No, we're not rooting, but I am excited about this, and I know you are too. We got a ball game again after that big-time strike.
Big-time strike, and you are right. Don't go anywhere yet. This thing's not done. This time, the extra point up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. So they got one of the 2 touchdowns they needed. Now for the onside kick. And the Cowboys are able to recover. 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Elliott. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Now the Dolphins will use the last of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
At the 38-yard line.
So they come up on 2nd down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing.
Check 31, check 31. Shoot, shoot.
Again, it's Elliott. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. On first down, it's Elliott. It was Mitch Unrein that made the tackle. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
Prescott, he goes down to a knee, and that should just about do it. So this one will end in a victory for the Dallas Cowboys. And it wasn't really always pretty. They had their bumps and bruises. Really, both sides did. But they did what they needed to do at home to get the win.
Yeah, they really had to grind this one out, didn't they? Because nothing came easy. Every snap was a major league brawl. They had to win at the line of scrimmage, win downfield. They got all those things accomplished. But to win a close one like this, you know, every team wants